Hello, epic gamers. It is I, OXSN. It's been a minute, so let's have a fucking talk about some things. I'm sorry that the audio sounds hella trash at the minute. My fucking microphone is broken, the cable's broke, and that isn't very epic considering what I'm going to be talking about in this video is music and the power of conscious lyrics and various facets surrounding these topics of discussion. So let's fucking get into them, shall we? Right, so I have been getting back into my music thing a lot, so that's what you're going to see from me a lot, is a lot more music. Obviously, I mean, I made music when I was younger, and then I got into the psychedelics and started this YouTube channel and started just talking like I am now. And now I'm going to kind of return to the music but integrate my newfound psychedelic love and wisdom into the music and shit. So it's going to be cool, and this is what I'm talking about here, right? So like, music's just on my mind recently a lot more as well, and this is just gets me thinking. But I've known about this for a long time, is inherently how valuable music with a message is. Now, I haven't prepared to make this talk, but it's really quite a deep dive, and honestly it's something that I know a lot about. If I ever do any updates on this topic, check the top of the description. I'm sure I'll talk about this more in the future because there's a lot to it, to be honest. So I know a lot of conscious artists, and what does this mean to be a conscious lyricist or a musician or a rapper? And it's basically like, I've been trying to make some bangers with the message attached. What was it? Oh fuck, I don't know the lyrics. What was it?
I'm manifesting all these visions I have. As I move in the future, I can't live in the past. I know the answers, but I still got questions to ask. This awareness of myself is such a blessing to have. I woke up and showed love and threw the rest in the trash. I've been trying to make some bangers with the message attached. So you ain't gotta sacrifice the vibe to feel alive. So no matter where you reside, the middleman is on your side. I've been working 24, I cannot do no 9 to 5. If it ain't catching my passion, then my drive gon' be deprived. I've been working like a slave for the mastery itself. If you work for the illusion, then you practically an elf. Don't make me take it there. Satan ain't playing fair. On my land, I'm in Santa. Oops, I didn't mean to share my opinion of who out here really sinning. Past the playing paperism and ignore your intuition. Love never let me down.
Listen to this bit in a minute. I know I'm letting this roll, but listen to what he's on about with the life force, this fucking verse. This is what I mean by conscious lyrics. It's like actually talking about shit. There we go.
But hope is inspiration, a reminder not to overlook this beautiful creation that we living in. Take a deep breath, let the life force enter in. Hold it for a couple seconds, maybe even count to 10. Feel the warmth circulate, energy percolate. Then exhale with gratitude for everything that's working great. Just for the day, we gon' surrender that love either way. Hey, just for the day, we ain't gon' worry about a thing. I ain't tripping over something that's already said and done. I'm here to embody light up with it.
Anyway, I'm sorry for letting that roll, yeah. But there you go. If you heard the fucking... Hopefully the audio wasn't like really shit. That would be really awful. I mean, it shouldn't be. Ooh, that might be a problem. Okay. If it is, I'll just edit it. Fuck it. That'll be alright. So, there was an example. So this is one artist called Spxtrm. And there are so many conscious artists, and I'm in contact with quite a few of them now, and obviously I am one myself, you could very much say, and I'm going to be one a lot more. Like, when I was making my old music, I was certainly... I was a lot more unconscious. Like one of my new tunes called Truth Till I Die, I said, God, I was so unconscious, manifesting bare monsters, probably because all the monsters in my system I've been sipping since I was barely even conscious. So yeah, I used to be a lot more unconscious, and that was when I made the album Toxic, and then you can guess what the sequel to that is going to be if you're smart, but I guess I won't. It's going to be called Detox, yeah. The next album is going to be called Detox, because get it, like, I was depressed back in the day, and that's why it was called Toxic, and there's like 10 tracks on there. And then the new album is going to be called Detox, because I had the spiritual awakening. Do you see what I mean? So, and this is relevant, I'm not just going chatting shit now. It's so there are loads of artists that go through this like spiritual transformation in the same way that I've just done there. So there's me, who went from depressed to better. So I actually drawn, you can find, alright, hopefully I don't lose my threads, because I always end up talking about so much shit. You know how it like sporadically branches off, like this ADHD shit, and like you can never finish your thread. I do that quite a bit, but it'll still be valuable. I'll just try and not do that. But so where is it? It fucking better be here. OXSN XXX Tentacion Scila. Here we go. That'll do. Okay. 2 seconds. That's right, I dyed my hair blue for fucking XXX Tentacion when he died. Yeah. That was this was so long ago. So yeah, sorry. And that is relevant because... Where the fuck am I? Oh my god. I'm somewhere. Here I am. That's relevant because... XXX Tentacion is the first conscious artist I came across. He's not super conscious, but he does have interviews where he talks about quite conscious stuff. And again, it's not as black and white as like people are awake and people aren't. Like X's ideas were very like immature in terms of like spirituality. Like he didn't really have it nailed down, but he does talk about a lot of interesting stuff. So yeah, so he was very toxic in the past, especially some of his earlier music. That's why there's like cancel culture after him. And then he dyed his hair blue as like a symbolism of like an evolution or making a change. And then obviously he got fucking shot, and that sucked. And I was a big fan of him. And he was the first one to kind of introduce me. Like he talks about like the laws of the universe and stuff, but he's not like super spiritual. But he talks about a lot of like depressing and sad music in the past. And I resonated with that when I was young for some reason, quite a lot. And I did quite a lot of artists of that nature, but X was a very like, it's like this kind of contemplative, like I've always kind of like this very overthinking sort of, and when you're like depressed and you listen to that kind of music, and the same with this, like even if it's the depressing music, like NF for example, who's another example I'll get into in a second, who had the same transition as X. Like it's still kind of like you can listen to music that is just fucking Friday again, it's Sunday, or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Or like so many of the songs on the radio, they're just so bizarre. Obviously a lot of music just chats shit, like say Oliver Tree, yeah? I like Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree's first music, when he was just called Tree, which I've done, fucking check out my tune called Osmosis, that was produced by Oliver Tree. But say Oliver Tree's modern music, this is the one who made Don't Fret, I don't ever want to see you and I never want to meet you again. One thing, when you're angry you're a jerk and then you treat me like I'm worth nothing. It'll happen again, I'll watch it happen over and over again. You see, you hear those lyrics just there, it's just like there's nothing to them, like it's still a banger and he's like a very big artist. Say like KSI is like, all these man like, and I really like Quadeca. His last album was pretty good. It was kind of conscious because it was an album about the contemplation of death. and I actually had insights about the nature of death listening to it. So this is what I'm talking about. And I was tripping on mushrooms one time, and I listened to especially this tune called Fantasy World. And if I could try break it down like this little bit, and it's quite conscious, if you know what I mean. But like, so it was quite like metaphysical in the way it was speaking. And by fantasy world he means this. And how did it go? It goes, it's your mum's bakery in Maine. It's that cabin in Sweden. It's the going offline. It's next year I'll go vegan. It's not a woe, it's me. It's a hold the door open. That's fantasy world. That's the one that I've chosen. It sounds way more cool than that. And then it fucking and then I was like on the mushrooms and I heard that, and then I actually clocked what he was on about. Like, hold the door, and then the beat is all integrated into like this spooky. The album is from the perspective as if the artist writing the album had died. And he was like looking at his life from the outside as a ghost. And because I was on the shrooms, I actually like basically done that. It was if I was looking at my life from the outside, and it was like the die before you die kind of teaching and spirituality, or aim supposedly. Because the mushrooms like actually gave me the ability to kind of like embody the insight. But anyway, there's that. So yeah, so we got Spxtrm here. He has one of the things about conscious music and lyricism and that as well is that they actually have interludes and sections within songs and albums of lectures and voice snippets of public intellectuals speaking on various things. So Spxtrm puts a lot of Alan Watts in his music. For example, listen to his song called Reality Is, and then he draws inspiration from Alan Watts a lot, and Buddhism. He's got a song called The Bodhisattva, and it's like, and you can actually get educated through rhythms and music that you like. So this is the kind of groundbreaking thing that I'm telling you here, and it's actually like and it goes a lot deeper. Again, like, this is why I was saying I'll talk about this more in the future, when it gets into neuro-linguistic programming, which is basically like, it goes so deep. So now we're getting into it. So there's another conscious artist called Mr. Traumatik. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He actually shared one of my videos I made about him called Mr. Traumatik Saved My Life. You can find it on my Rumble page. So yeah, he was pretty nifty. What the fuck is going on with this stupid text, man? Come on, G. Let me fucking rename. Oh, sorry, one sec. So we've also got Mr. Traumatik, and he has a song called Programming, and this is about neurolinguistic programming, and it's education about a very interesting topic. And it's not that you have to obviously believe everything that he says as dogma, like, you don't have to take it on as your own, but it's more of like, it's perspectives in rap, but that's like more intentional. Like when you listen to Eminem and stuff, like Slim Shady, he just kind of chats shit quite a lot. But then there are artists that actually, they try and like bring about revolutions, and like they have like anthems for like anti-pandemic, like there's a lot of like anti-coronavirus and like food education music. There's a lot of that as well. Inspekta Veg, I believe that is how you spell it. I'm actually in a at the start of one of Inspekta Veg's songs, and he messaged me actually today saying we need to do a song together because he liked my new snippet that was talking about magic mushrooms, and that's conscious rap as well. So tell you what, I'll play you that quickly. It should, yeah, it will only take a second. Hopefully it sounds okay for you guys, but this is my snippet I done. Hopefully you can hear the kind of conscious, but I'm talking about magic mushrooms and that, which is obviously about spirituality. But yeah, it's just a snippet, it's only not very long.
I lost my mind, bro, nothing inside, no. Now I might try go back, other sides to see you goodbye, though. It's just I don't stare at our eyes, realise you're alive, never die, fight, fly, suicide is the might of the hat. I can die 9 grams of liberty, caps in the side, with magic mushrooms from breakfast, neural hyper connection. Shrooms is all my depression, but now it's a fucking obsession. I was just seeking the lessons, but now I just want the connection to God.
That was that anyway. We got, this is another one I done. Cool. This was like, this was actually when I started my channel, so this is like fucking over a year ago now.
The society's built for the rich and we are a farm that's designed to keep the elites at the top. Fuck off you stupid cunts, just stop. I'm about to end your life with a Glock. I'm about to shoot off your fucking face, cause the powers that be, they poisoned the place. Everyone is on their synthetic drugs for disorders caused by shit diet grubs. Honestly it's so clear, yeah, how the fuck they not see it? I don't know G, someone tell me, they call me crazy, I call them crazy. Yeah, everybody's looking at me, all these superhuman beings trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Is a question that I ask myself on and on, on and on. I try to fight my mind. I can't stand my life. Everybody knows that I'm talking big facts. I can't be a wage slave no more. Fuck that. I'll witness existence dissolve to syntax. An illusionary holographic simulation soul trap. I walk around in a gas mask and tin hat. Witchcraft, black cat, sacred maths. I'm always tripping my thoughts race like they're fast. Under the listen I'm being trapped. I'm in the black. Now I gotta follow my ambitions. I'm a maggot on a mission. Fucking faggots keep on dissing cause I'm meditating on my vision. All I see is NPCs dependent on the evil system. This and how I'm living. G society's an open prison.
Yeah, it was only a snippet. Hopefully that doesn't sound awful, like the quality, and then but yeah, see, that's what I mean. If you hear what my music is now let's hear what it used to be, and you can see how I'm more conscious and have more meaning. And so this is what my lyrics were like nearly 4 years ago. What the fuck is going on? Called Faz Massive, which is my town. I made with somebody else from the town, but yeah, just you can tell the lyrics aren't as.
If you see us in the street, you know what we're doing. We're trapping all day on our feet, selling what we're brewing. We're smoking Cali, packs of weed, chilling, barbecuing. I am always fucking lean, smoking is improving. But I'm only smoking weed, comes on what we're chewing. Scraping up the THC, drugs that I'm pursuing. Don't look like a 10 to me, that's gonna need reviewing. I am going to succeed, oxen always moving. Let me stop you there and let me set the record straight. Gonna chat your shit on YOLO, but won't say that to my face. Step up to me, now you faggot, I'ma put you in your place. So my body's on backwards, I'ma chef you and your mates. Name my album cover, now I feel like I'm in space. You might try to touch my moped.
So yeah, as you can tell, I'm just chatting shit, and that's what most music does. Oh, they talk about stabbing and like, so it's kind of like the opposite. Someone actually asked me like, what music do I listen to the other day, and I didn't reply this, but I thought to myself, oh, this are the credits for the fucking visuals, by the way. Big up. I thought that I should have fucking replied, but I didn't. It's basically like the opposite of what's deemed cool in rap. Like there's this lyric by Inspekta that goes, meditation is better than drugs. And then it goes on, it goes, in between, me and peace is this concrete, and I can see it ain't working, so I'm searching for what's underneath, what always is, what's always been, what's sacred and what's pure and clean. Why did we have to intervene? We should have left this whole world green. So there you go, that's a song called Growth. A very good tune. You can find that on my Rumble page and my second YouTube channel, if it doesn't get terminated, because they terminated my main one. For no fucking reason. But we'll get to that. Okay, so what was I? Yeah, so sorry, we were talking about we were talking about Mr. Traumatik programming, neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP for short, and this is basically what you are experiencing when you listen to music, kind of subconsciously. So the idea is, I think Bruce Lipton might talk about it quite a lot. I don't know if he's a trusted source, but it's confirmation. Here we go. Actually, I actually made a short on this topic, and I said in the short that me and another YouTuber, who's also very spiritual, I've met him in the flesh, called Key Parks. He said to me when we were driving, we were discussing an LP, and he was telling me how when he listens to Pop Smoke, a rapper who just chats shit basically like I was, I don't know really, he died, everyone bigs him up, I don't know if he was the bollocks or not, but I'm pretty confident that he didn't say anything metaphysically profound, or maybe he had some wisdom. I don't really know, I can't judge, I haven't really listened to him, but I know like his main song is massive, but he didn't really say enough. You know, it's just like most artists don't really say nothing too mad. Like the mainstream, especially like the people on the radio and that, like half the time they're just saying like fuck all. You don't really get like proper conscious, like where you're actually like receiving a message. It's just kind of like a bop. So yeah, we were discussing this, and Key Parks was saying that when he hears Pop Smoke, he doesn't really care an awful lot about spirituality, and he can feel the change in the shift of his perception in his values and his wants and desires and his identity, etc. It's not just for this example, it goes across the board with your life. So have you ever got up from a horror movie and the house is creeping you out? That is potentially an example of neuro-linguistic programming, I believe. Also, here's a good example. Do you consume content on the internet, such as this? Do you know different internet personalities? So we have me, and then we have maybe Leo Gura, Jordan Peterson, Captain Sinbad, Hamza, Better Ideas. I know loads more, come on. I don't know, improvement pill, fuck it. There's a lot. So these are public intellectuals of the self-help and personal development field. And basically, if I start watching Hamza a lot, there's actually a TikTok from not too long ago, and on my Instagram, it's just a short 60-second voice note of me talking about mental health. And I've been watching Hamza a lot. And an insight I got from Hamza is he said, you can control your emotions, bro. You can literally, like, you can choose to be angry. You can choose to be happy. Or you can choose to be sad. Like, do it right now. And I'd done it and I was like, whoa, that's weird. You could just choose, like, if you have the consciousness, I guess, somewhat. It seems that you can. I did in that moment. And I used it as a tool since then. It might not always be as easy, but it worked on the spot. And I repeated this wisdom into my TikTok, and I was actually talking more with a Hamza tone voice, just like I did a second ago. And it's like how sometimes you hang out with people, you can adopt their accent or personality traits. It's like, for example, I have a lyric in Truth Till I Die going, but it goes deeper than food, it's every dimension of all you consume. Division and fear they spread on the news, now the media hate because I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the truth, their lies are absurd. If you're looking for proof, you're part of the herd. Take psilocybin and then you'll be cured. Close both eyes and open the third. I'm only sinking when I start thinking. My eyes stop seeing and I stop being. I'm on the brink in near extinction, so I start breathing when I'm deceiving myself. It ain't good for my health, it ain't good for my brain, it ain't good for my mind. Everything's in your mind, not a thing is outside. My life is gaining momentum. Came a long way from the pills and depression. Push pushing uphill Sisyphuses. My method till I watch it roll for a second, cause ultimately there isn't nowhere to be, there isn't nowhere to go. Now I'm just watching it flow, there isn't nothing to know, there isn't nothing to gain. I ain't just preaching, it's facts I'm conveying. Look at your life and the price that you're paying, you gotta wake up, so don't have a lay in, your time's nearly up. So what are you saying? I ain't just preaching, it's facts I'm conveying. Look at your life and the price that you're paying, you gotta wake up, so don't have a lay in, your time's nearly up. So what are you saying? I'm saying fuck this grid and fuck the elites that are running this shit, because they're feeding us poison, it's making us sick and it's keeping us sick, so we never get rich. I'm a matrix glitch. I told you before, psilocybin's illegal because it is the cure. They hide it away because they are so sure the powers that be would be no more. So fuck the system. On all fours, I've got wisdom, I'll listen to yours. We'll combine our knowledge, then build a village, then we'll all be winning. I've seen it before. We're gaining pace, it's got to be done. We're claiming our place under the sun, because Babylon is built on blood. Yeah, Babylon is built on blood. Sorry, I read those fucking lyrics though. It will be out officially soon. I've been stalling, but yeah, I'm getting on it. I'm doing a collab with someone called Wordz, which is a conscious rapper. But remember, there are many different degrees. It's not as nuanced as Awake or Not. I mean, it's not as black and white as Awake or Not. It's a lot more nuanced than that. But there are people who attempt to bring about truth and meaningful, like lectures and education through music. So yeah, sorry, NLP. Yeah, so what I was saying originally is it goes deeper than food. It's every dimension of all you consume. So everything that you consume, like, kind of programs you, because you're kind of just built off your product of your environment and your experiences. So it's like, cut out certain like TV shows, habits and stuff like this stuff. Like you're letting information into your system, and like David Goggins says, who could be another public intellectual that influence you and changes your paradigm, or influence your paradigm. He says, what does he fucking say? Sorry, I'm pretty tired today. Oh my god, I forgot. Sorry. He says, as soon as you wake up and you look at your phone, or you go about the day, you talk to people, when you go outside, you got to set up your guard in a way. And I'm not saying this is absolute truth, but he says, you know, set up your barriers, because as soon as you start scrolling, you're letting shit in. You're like, when you read, it's almost like you're like just scanning words that are basically thoughts, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's deep. It's deep. It goes into like, well, kind of epistemological things, metaphysical, psychological, physiological, likely. What was the main one I was going to say? God, why has my brain just gone fuzzy all of a sudden? Fucking hell, sorry. Yeah, fuck it, sorry. I don't know what I was saying, it doesn't matter. I mean, it was David Goggins, yeah, set up your barriers. Don't let random information in from adverts in the news. This is programming by Traumatik, talking about neuro-linguistic programming. It's pretty sick.
You know when you get that awful song stuck in your head and it won't go away for days on end? That's neuro-linguistic programming. When you're singing them lyrics you don't even like, again and again and again and again, and it's driving you crazy. That's neuro-linguistic programming. It's all down to the radio and the media and the TV. It's all run by the same people. They're using neuro-linguistic programming. This place is infected with evil. It's disturbing. They brainwashed us for decades using neuro-linguistic programming. That's programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. It's all programming.
That's a hard tune, man.
Brainwash people using symphony. But I am immune to them
them type of tunes. It's the way you would do a thing to me. The powers to be, they're cowards and weak, and they're causing brutal injury. There's a war on consciousness going on. They don't want you to interview. They just want to see you living in fear, but I want you to live your dream. This sacred multi-dimensional ancient knowledge is rooted into me. When I see layers of multi-dimensional waves, I'm moving in between. I won't start researching and trying to solve these books of history. That's programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. It's all programming.
Fucking hell, that is such a hard tune, man. That is crazy. So yeah, that's Mr. Traumatik right there. Yeah. So in general, so yeah, I mean, sorry. So the neurolinguistic programming is just the idea that, like, you know, if you have these subconscious, basically, here's how I see it. Yeah, how even if you're smart and wise, right? I'm not undermining you by saying that you're being programmed by the TV, that you're foolish and stupid because you're so timid that you can get programmed by a TV. That's not what I'm saying. We're all open to being programmed, so you just avoid it. But don't take it too seriously. Like, don't lose sleep over it somewhat. But what I'm saying is, if you constantly have shit on TV, like mainstream TV shows, say like Friends, or fucking, I don't fucking know, I don't watch TV. I don't understand why anyone watches TV. It's like the shittest, and the TV license needs to go. But yeah, it's just weird, I don't get TV. But anyway, everyone in Friends, for example, like a soap about friends, you know, and the intro goes, it's like you're always stuck in second gear when it hasn't been your week, your day, your month, or even your year. And then it's like, yeah, all these friends, you know, just working 9 to 5s. But what I'm saying is, like, people in the world, even if they're being represented artificially on a TV, everyone operates with their own ideas and their frames and their paradigms of how they see the world, and their ideas, and what is normal, what is deemed cringe, what is okay, what isn't. So when you're constantly, like, being fed, like, and you're just being stimulated by a script of certain frames of mind, it will kind of lock you in inherently. Actualize.org/Leogura has a episode titled Why Socialization Makes You Stupid. It's an outlandish title intentionally, but he's talking about groupthink. That's an important word that I didn't. So groupthink is just like, you know, if you go into like an office or a job environment, and everyone just kind of has the same idea of what's deemed normal or not. This is just an example. Right, don't hold my feet to the fire for this topic. I'm actually going to make an update about something I said in the past. But, oh God, I hate talking about it because it's just such a... I just regret bringing it up, kind of. I'll just make it sound worse the more I fucking... But it's kind of... why don't I just dig myself into a hole just now? Right, for example, and Leo Gura and Actualize.org actually spoke on just this. So, but yeah, I'll make a video like debunking any... because there could be controversy about a statement I made in the past. But it wasn't a very mindful way of wording what I meant, but I can't be asked to talk about it right now, but I will do. Because someone actually left my Discord because of it. I'm not going to talk about it now, it's not the right place. But what was I going to say? So for an example, to be fair, it goes across the board with not just this, but for some reason this is the one that come to mind. It was a contemplation once about like the fundamental nature of morality and stuff like that. But it was basically the idea that, like, obviously everyone in this culture obviously deems fucking pedophilia, like, that's not oh, sorry, I don't know, my computer bugged. Obviously that's not okay, that's weird, that's fucked, you know, go to prison, get murdered, and that's how people think in this side of the culture. I'm not saying that's wrong, okay, sure. But there are other cultures that have legitimately practiced, or so I've heard, and so I can kind of intuitively understand, that there isn't like an inherent boundary of like the age, you know what I mean? And that it's the duality and the lines that are drawn to divide and make distinctions in the world can get blurred. So I'm just saying, so that's just one. But for example, like people like obviously like culture, certain cultures, what's deemed normal in this culture, for example, like eating certain meats is okay here, but we don't eat dogs and cats, but certain cultures do. But this groupthink here thinks that their groupthink is fucked, but we all only think this is fine because everyone else thinks it's fine. So when there's like certain paradigms that get perpetuated by the TV, which are probably also all owned potentially maybe by like BlackRock, a company. I'm not saying that is the case, but potentially, you know, like there's big like 1% big tech companies that own everything, and now we've got big tech, big pharma, big food, and government teaming up, and the police and the military into just like one fucking World Economic Forum, Davos, Great Reset, Klaus Schwab fucking team. But yeah, it's just because like you're sorry, I'm going off on a big tangent kind of, but no, this is about neurolinguistic programming still. This is what I'm on about. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, is basically the TV will subconsciously programming you, so like don't just fucking sit your children down and let them fucking eat up random content. Like another example kind of neurolinguistic programming, it's not necessarily just music, I don't think, it's just information. Like what did I say about it before? I don't know, but yeah, a good example, like I say, is when I watch Leo Gura, I act and I want to be more like him. Same with Hamza, same with most. I kind of adopt and adjust to the podcasts that I'm listening to, and I like become more of the people that I listen to. And Hamza even said that. He said, you know, have you heard the phrase that you're the sum of like the 5 people you hang around with? Like if you hang around with 9 losers, then you're the 10th. Same with the content. If you just watch fucking Penguin Z or Moist Critical talking about internet drama, then you know what I mean. But if you fucking listen to Terence McKenna and Alan Watts, maybe, then maybe your language will evolve more and you'll have a better attention span, or I don't know. I'm not hating, fundamentally, do what you want, but maybe that wasn't the best example. But yeah, so yeah, in general, I think they could be really good as anthems, a lot of conscious music. So so we got Ryan Saunders is another one, and he's got and he works with Inspekta Veg. He's made beats with Inspekta Veg, and I'm in contact with quite a few of these people. Let's make a list here. We got Wordz, Inspekta Veg, we got TMIND, we got Ryan Saunders, I believe that's how you spell it. We got Isometrik, I believe that's how you spell it. Isometrik MC. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, so these are just a few like conscious artists that I know. And yeah, it's quite interesting because it's like public intellectuals, but they just rhyme. But also, just before I started making music again, which I'll call this era kind of OXSN revival, I think I'm gonna come back. I feel like I've matured a lot, and my content and my everything is going to be a lot better, even though I'm off YouTube now because they terminated me. But fuck, like, I mean, I'll try, and I'm not going to go into that right now, there wasn't really solid grounds for them to do so, I don't think, but it's a deep topic. But yeah, so when I started making music again this time, I understood that you can bring about like and portray a lot of emotion in your voice, in the way you're singing, screaming, rapping, flowing, laughing, whatever, being smart, making cool jokes and lyrics and smart like techniques and cadences, whatever the fuck that means. I've heard it a lot. Crypt saying it. Oh yeah, I need to talk about NF as well. Right, and then the beat, and then just like the whole way you can portray it is like you get like a message or an attitude. Music has attitude to it. It can be love, it can be like a diss track on the government, and you get the attitude, and you cut this message. You receive a message in a different way. Because you can say, like, you can listen to a lecture and someone say to you, this is a good example. This is a very good example, right? You're listening to a lecture, right? Maybe Jordan Peterson, or, you know, like a self-help, anyone, like a motivational speaker, Joe Rogan, maybe. And they're there going, like, look, if you listening to this video now, if you have a dream, you know, like, that you're thinking about or whatever, like, listen, you really got to go for it. If you don't really go for it and, like, go 110% every day, you know, and be really disciplined, then you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail unless you fucking work your ass off, you know what I mean, and like just go at it full blast. All right, maybe that was maybe I seemed a bit weird as I was saying that, but you know what I mean. You can imagine what I'm on about, right? So you got that talking to the camera, like, you know, you gotta give it your all, otherwise you're gonna fuck up. Or you can have the song version of the same message, kind of, and it goes, I learned from a young age, if you want to do something impactful, you gotta be willing to sacrifice and really go after it with everything that you have, cause if you don't, it never gonna happen. Listen, gotta prevail, gotta excel, thought I hit my peak now, I done started climbing a hill. That's NF. So you know what I mean, it's like, yeah, it's just, there's so many cool conscious lyrics, man. It's so deep. There's so many different fields. We got conspiracy theories, psychedelics, the nature of reality, spirituality, stuff about the government, like self-empowerment, a lot about health, diet, like breath work, and like cold showers and Wim Hof, and I'm eating fruit for breakfast, for dinner veg and rice, I'm mastering yoga, my technique is so precise, I'm practicing breath work, that's why my third eye's oversized, my phone is rarely switched on, you won't get no replies, I'm hiking in nature barefoot, I'm grounding and sun gazing, I'm swimming in waterfalls, chasing sunsets till I'm aching, I'm sleeping on mountain tops, stargazing and blazing, I'm microdosing psilocybin mushrooms cause they're amazing. So yeah, it goes deep. But so NF, he's kind of conscious. I'd say Spxtrm is what the fuck is going on here? Spxtrm is likely the most conscious, I would say. But so NF, he was very depressed and stuff in the past, and then he had the evolution like I did, where he had the like kind of awakening. He even said in one of his recent tunes, I need to meditate. So he used to wear all black, and then he found the light, and now he wears all white. Little Darky is another conscious rapper. Legalize the fungi nibber, I eat it anyway. It can start with one guy nibber. The world got plenty fakes, we don't need another fire with my brothers in the street. I was about to write nibber then. NF. darky. Yep. So what the fuck was I saying? I think that's it somewhat. So yeah, music in general is super empowering. It can give you a lot of motivation when you're exercising as well, while you're going for a run and things. It can educate you. It's fun. Music is inherently spiritual, I find. I love rapping. I've loved music for as long as I can remember. I used to not like it when I was really young for some reason. Explicitly, I remember not liking music. But yeah, I think that's all we got for now. But yeah, before I go, I'll leave you with some random bars that I wrote. They're not the best, but this is for an upcoming tune called, I think, Drum and Bass Psychedelia, maybe. It's a conscious rap that I wrote, but just a few lyrics. I don't know if they're any good, but I thought I might as well. What were they? Yeah. You were... Shall I tell you what, let me get up... I'll read you all the lyrics. This is for an upcoming song, so this is what I got so far. Psychedelics took my life and they replaced it with a dream. I'm a medic synergizing LSD and DMT. I'm not selling psilocybin, but it's brewing in my tea. Entities have tendencies for taking me behind the scenes, teaching me the master key to manifest reality. I have to see my family be proud of me eventually. I'm sipping teas of liberties up in the trees. I'm with my G's. We're making peas and bunning weed, but we're not dropping ecstasy. Plasticity will set you free, G. Honestly, to swallow these 3 5-methoxy DMT teas, you will see what's meant to see, G. I ain't got no time for games. And then I didn't finish that bit, but then it goes, reality is very deep. This mountain climb is very steep, but I'm not seeing just the peak, 'cause that's some easy self-deceit. Be grateful every time you eat, for every breath you get to breathe. Eventually these get to leave, and you'll be sad you couldn't see. Countless opportunities, they start to leave so rapidly. You're lazy watching movie scenes, you need to use your energies. You abide by Andrew Tate, I subscribe to Leo Gura. He's implying poison, mate, that's why your lungs look like a sewer. I no longer masturbate, now I live longer, feeling newer. There's no poison on my plate, the man is healthy in the mirror. These took fucking ages to write. Life is just a big reflection. When you witness imperfection, just like things that need correction, that's your ego showing tension. Let me go and feel the blessings. What you're thinking's manifesting, that's the lesson. Ask the question, Jesus, where the fuck is heaven? It's within, motherfucker. If you wanna find heaven, look within, motherfucker. And then we got a last little bit here. Psychedelics will shatter your brain. It's quite pathetic, they think I'm insane. No, they don't get it, they aim at my name. Can't hear them saying 'cause I'm in a cave. Not responding, stay in your lane. What a long thing playing these games. I'd rather roll long things in the rain than smoke it and get high like a plane. Or I could try swim up the rain. But either way it's safe to say you only hate 'cause you're in pain and jealous of my future fame. You only hate 'cause you got trauma eating too much chicken korma. You only hate because you got trauma eating too much chicken korma. Death is just around the corner. I could rap, but now I'm border. I could keep on fucking going, but they already be knowing. Oxen got no chance of slowing. That's the reason I am growing. Alright. So, yeah, there you go. Maybe all of it wasn't super conscious, but that song isn't done yet. But yeah, I read all those lyrics. So, yeah. The tune's pretty fucking hard, so that'll be my first proper drum and bass tune, other than Hopeless by me also. So check that out. Thank you for tuning in, guys. So yeah, my name's OXSN, or Baron Davidson, or TRUTHTILIDIE, or Scila, and I'm going to be changing up my content a bit. I talk a lot about psychedelics and conscious shit and spirituality and blah blah blah, and I got a lot of very conscious music coming soon, so it would literally mean so much to me if you checked out what I'm trying to do and kind of helped me build a vision I want the best for everyone. Ultimately, I think I kind of like the idea of a mass awakening, although I know how like foolish it can seem to think that could. But I don't know, man. Like, well, who fucking knows? Anything's possible. When we come together, humanity's unstoppable. I said anything is possible. It's definite. The probability is highly probable.